Hello. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Who's here first? Let's see. Hello, 420 Wild Dragon. How are you doing? Thanks for joining tonight. And welcome to whoever joins from Twitch or Facebook. I'm streaming from those two, but I can't see your comments on those platforms. I can only see the ones that stream from the YouTube. So, how is everyone? Let's see who's in the chat atmosphere. Sharon, hello. How you doing? Carletta, hi there. Thanks for joining. Alice in Eastern Washington State, hello. CWS, hi. Do you think that's funny? The Remedial Invisible College. I just love that name. I don't know. Somebody is obviously offended by it because I don't know what's going on. It's offending people. Hello in Southern Cali. Thank you. Penny Lane. Hello. Tina, yay, you're here. You made it. Hi there, Tina. Alan. Hi, Alan. Thanks for joining. How are you today? I hope you had a good day, Alan. T. Witten. Hello. The money, honey. Oh, I've got my Cali people. Christine, hello. You're in the beautiful Rocky Mountains. How nice. Cindy in Utah. Beautiful Utah. Okay, so I'm going to start. I will greet anybody else who joins. Thank you. It's a night class, and what else would you rather be doing, huh? Than having some fun with your family here in the chat atmosphere. Why not, right? I hope you're cozy. Christine, hello. I don't know how long I'll last. That's okay. You can always, this is the beauty of it. You can catch it on the restream. Okay, so this one is going to be a doozy, okay? I keep saying that, right? Because it keeps being a doozy. So I don't know what else to say, okay? So tonight, I'm glad you're here, Tina. Okay. Now, you all know that Tina is one of our sisters that she's been on this road longer than I have been. Okay. And most of you possibly. Okay. Hey, Mitzi. Hello in Southern Illinois. Glad you're here. And Ernestina is here. Hello, Jennifer and everyone. I was in Cusco a long time ago. It's beautiful. Oh, wow, Ernestina. So she's been to Cusco. So this is fabulous. If anybody else has been to Cusco, let us know. Ernestina, you could be a fact checker, please. Okay. If I say anything that you need to correct me. Mrs. Harris is here. Hello. And Jeffrey. Well, hello. It's been a long while, is right. Greetings from Lake Superior. Oh, very nice. Golden Crisp. Hello. Never miss a night. It's your birthday? Golden Crisp's birthday. Everybody, please wish Golden Crisp a happy birthday. Happy birthday. Oh my gosh, I feel so, this is so special that you would spend a night with us at a class, a night class. Look at that. Well, I'm going to make it extra, hopefully entertaining, okay? For your birthday. Okay, so I will go ahead. Oh, what I wanted to say to Tina, okay, is that the other live stream, Tina has been saying, you're getting your birthday wishes coming in there. Look at that. Tina has been saying, and a lot of you have been repeating the same thing to me, and it takes me a little while sometimes for certain things to penetrate into my head, okay? Queenie's World is here. You made it to class. Thank you. Okay, so this is the thing. Tina has been saying what it is from the beginning, and it has taken me a while to catch on to what it is, okay? And I'm going to tell you all, if you are wondering, we're going to talk about giants, okay? And that just sounds crazy to me because I can't imagine that I'm going to talk about giants today. Are you ready to talk about giants? What do you think about the subject of giants? Is that like way out there to you? Alex Torres, hello and blessings. Tell me what you all think about giants. Do you believe in giants? Do you think this is a conspiracy tinfoil hat type of thing? Every time I talk about these Tartarian architectural structures. When I say, who could have built these things? I keep asking the same question. And Tina's like, the giants. She's just like, clear, the giants, the giants. And I'm like, okay, she has been saying this, and a few of you have been saying this. Julie, are you ready to go in full tinfoil hat? Yes, okay, let's talk about giants. It's biblical. That's right. Why do we not hear enough about giants? And I have a few theories I've been working. Tina, what is Tina saying? I didn't believe it for a while, but too much evidence, and it's in the Bible. There it is. And you know what? What I like about our group, whatever background you're from, your belief system, your religious belief system, we can all talk about this. That my worldview is I'm a Christian. I have tried on a few things, faith wise, spirituality and things like that, but I just came back. I circled back. Okay. So that's where I am right now. And now looking at my faith, like just growing in my faith right now at this time, especially with the challenges we've had globally. And then to now have my interest grow in pursuing reading the non-canonical books like the Book of Enoch. That's something new, and it's happening to a few people at this time. A lot of you have already studied Enoch and you've broken through the programming and you went ahead and did it. It took a few of us a little longer because we were told things like it's dangerous to read it. It will confuse you. The whole thing I've been telling you. It took me it was such a strong programming for me to break. So the idea of giants, okay, especially because we know that it's in the Bible. What I'm finding is opening up to researching giants and things like that, it's only confirming a lot, okay, in terms of biblical scripture. And you can, if you don't like the Bible and you think, oh, they've taken all these amount of books out of it, and oh, Caesar Borgia, he's the picture of Jesus, and you have a lot of different reasons, I get it, okay? I've had my reasons too. But if you look at scripture as just say a historical document, okay, just like you would read a book, I think that is a good place to start. And just don't have any expectations. Just be open-minded, open-hearted, because what this is, I see why they scare us from reading Enoch, because it only confirms things like history, and it starts to let you know that something is not factoring out. So that's what's amazing about this particular study. And that's why I'm so excited about it. And I'm going to be on this. This is my new thing. Okay. I swear this is the only thing I'm interested in, because I do believe people have said you have to understand the past, especially the antediluvian past. You have to understand that history in order to know where you're going, because the way we have been lied to, it is unreal that we have been lied to this badly. Am I freezing? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Let's see. Screen has frozen. Let me check. Is my connection okay there? I froze for a bit. So I'm going to say hi to you all. And Mark Russo, you're making me laugh right away, Mark. He says, hello from Lancaster. I've been practicing my use of negrescence. Oh my God. I'm glad, Mark. Thank you. Congratulations. Johnny Borealis, this is big. Yes, it is. Technically, right? Mary, hello. They're real. And you know what, Mary? I don't know why like I said, why did it take me so long to say, okay, wait a minute. I get it now. I feel like, duh. You know how Paul Romano said, this is the year of the dummy? I'm like, what's wrong with me? Why can't I connect with this. Okay, so I'm going to make my Nixon's here. Hey, Nixon. And if I miss you, just know that I'm going to jump in and see what you're up to. I'm going to change the. Okay, so we're going to take a little trip to, well, we're going to stay in the Americas. You know how I'm doing my new thing, the Americas, okay? So we're dealing with the Americas. That makes it easy. And then, we'll jump over. I don't know if we're going to go anywhere else, but we may just stick in the Americas, okay? So Peru is where it's at. If you've ever visited Peru, like who else has been to Peru? Because somebody, our sister Ernestina has been to Peru. She has been to Cusco. And hello, DeWolf. Thank you for joining us today. Yes, Cusco, I mentioned a little bit about it, but it does deserve its own, its own live stream, okay? Because it's so much to cover. I just try to compact a lot of these live streams with a lot of info that we can talk about because I'm learning so much, you all. I swear, I love it. Okay, so I watched a documentary called The Unholy Sea. Remember I mentioned that? The Unholy Sea. And it was very eye-opening. I would recommend this Unholy Sea. I think somebody here has watched it. Let me know if you've watched it. The Unholy Sea. And let's see what Cusco, Karen's here. Oh, Harlem's in the house. Karen says Cusco, the Inca capital of Peru. Exactly. And the thing that I've learned about the Incan Empire is that it was vast. It's not, again, what they, show us on the maps. Live well, whole and free. Hello. Did I freeze again? My goodness, my connection froze again. Hello there. Thank you for joining. Okay, so Peru. You would love to go to Peru, Christine says. Yeah, I mean, I wish I had focused on going to Peru, but hey, we'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to talk about giants, okay? But we're going to take a trip and look at some architecture. And you know how we do it, just like mix it up a little bit, okay? Tina is saying lots of interesting ruins there. Yeah, I mean, I can imagine it's going to take a bit to get through them, right? You probably need to spend a couple weeks there, huh? Mitzi, I've always wanted to go to Peru. Are UFOs really common there? I watched Shirley MacLaine's Out on a Limb years ago. Very interesting. Oh, okay. Does anybody know the answer? I don't know, Mitzi, in terms of UFOs. And I know that a lot is happening with the disclosure at this time. And I know that people are seeing a lot more activity. A lot of people are taking pictures of different things that they're seeing in the skies. So if anybody can answer Mitzi, please let her know. Are UFOs common in Peru? Thank you. Hey there, three easy living. Yes, Timothy. Yes, that's his name, Timothy Alberino. I watched it a couple times before it was taken off. Yes. Well, if you go to, he has it on Vimeo. So if you want to see the Unholy Sea, I would recommend you go to Vimeo. Okay, Timothy Alberino. He is an archaeologist. What is my deal today? Okay, so you watched it. Who else watched it? Karen says, good evening, class 101, dissecting the false history collectively. Yes, yes. I was buffering, T. Witten. I think it's me. I'm having a little connection issue. But if it's clear, just let me know. If it does buffer too much and I'm freezing, let me know so I'll know. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's talk about Cusco, which is also called the Navel. That was what I like. He described it as the navel of the world, actually, in the sense of the subterranean world, because that's what's very pronounced about this part of the world that is underneath Peru. Okay, so I said to understand this is a quote. Okay, I think it was Timothy that quoted this. To understand the prophetic future, we must understand the prehistoric past. And I thought that was a really good way to describe it. And I agree with it 100%. So that's why this is so important to me at this time. So let's just look at a little bit of their architecture. It's no surprise, you see the same style. What would you all call this style? Anybody want to go ahead and share what when you see this style of architecture, what type is it in your opinion, or what you've learned? Let us know. What style? No one yet? Is it Baroque? That's my guess off the top, because I didn't write it down or anything. I try to they say colonial. Okay, Ernestina says Spanish colonial. Okay, Spanish colonial. Thank you. Tartarian. That's like the easy answer, 3 easy. If we're going to play like Jeopardy, if we just say Tartarian for 200, Alex, it's going to be the correct answer, right? For everything. All right, so that's what we're gonna stick with that just for the so the beautiful people of this area. Now, the Incan Empire, from what I understand, it was vast. It covered Bolivia. It covered where else? Like part of I think all of Argentina, right? I think it was pretty much Colombia, Chile, Argentina, and I think Bolivia. If I'm fact check me, let me know. I think that was the vastness of the Incan Empire. So I love their textiles, and I just the colorful, just beautiful people, just so lovely. Now I wanted to show you all this. You may have to kind of get up a little bit, lean in. I want you to look at this. This is probably not new. Ernestina fact checked me. She says yes. And we will accept her answer. Thank you, Ernestina. So can you make out this particular thing? You've probably seen this if you watch a lot of those shows, like ancient whatever shows. I know I've seen this on a show, so I was happy that I found this diagram. Can you make it out for one? Like, I tried to put it on a white background so it could show up really well, so you can see some of the detail. Let me know what it looks like if you can make that out. And what do you think about that? Because this is powerful to me. When I looked at this the first time, I was like, wow. I think it's a relief. I think it is originally a relief. Anybody have any idea? Can you make this out? And you're always welcome to, screen grab things. I'm going to try to put things on to, what is it? I guess I was trying to warehouse things if you want to take anything and use it, that if any of the memes or whatever, you're welcome to it. Or if you just want to screenshot it. Johnny says it looks like machinery. Yeah, it looks like to me, Johnny, it looks like he's on a power, excuse me, a powerful motorcycle that flies. It looks like a flying motorcycle that you have to lean in, right? What do they call those? Like the rockets, the really fast. What do you think? Tina says too small for your old eyes. You can make that out, Tina. Can't you see it? Okay, let me get my pointer. Right here, this is the man. You see him right here, and his hand right here, his foot, one foot, and he's sitting in a position that looks like, it looks like a whatever this is, it looks like it's very fast. So this machinery would encompass right here, this outline, if you could see the arrow. Hey, aren't you Nate? I haven't seen you in a while. You said piloting and advanced craft. So yeah, okay. Have you all ever seen this one? Wow, right, Johnny? Isn't it amazing? This would be cool if you color, if you color those, like my mom does the coloring books. I buy her those coloring books with coloring pencils. Maybe I'll have her color this. Oh my goodness, that'll keep her busy, won't it? Harnessing energy, Christine says. Eliana says, looks like a time machine or spaceship. Yes, Alex says a ship. Yeah, so isn't that cool? Oh my gosh, if you want to snap a shot of it, go ahead now. Grab it. And you all know what these are, right? I know this is like I know you guys are into the same thing, so it'll be pretty much, a lot of this. Let's see. The Nazca lines. Did I say it right? Nazca lines. Nazca lines. Yes, you got it. Okay. It looked like a fun random doodle. It was probably fun for whoever did it. And they call these earthworks. So you see a lot of beautiful earthworks in the earth. Okay. So over there in Cusco and probably all through the hills, you'll see these kind of designs, and it's just mysterious, and then the swirl that you see next to that, you'll see a lot of things like that, glyphs that are in the earth. And because Cusco is the navel for the subterranean world, there are a lot of places to access the underground world realm of that empire. Yeah. They say that it points to water. Oh, wow. I need to look into it more. DeWolf, hey, you said that inspired the engineers, planet killing machines in the Alien franchise. Oh, okay. And look at that, a cat, right? It's like, wow. Just what is this? Like, it's really amazing. The Incas built extensive temples, roads, and canal systems. Yeah. And here's more. And I'm just reviewing this one more time if anybody didn't see it in the other live stream. This is just a relief to show the proportion. So you see, of course, the giant narrative being portrayed here in the Egyptian cave paintings, as well as some of the other all the antediluvian civilizations. So there were giants among them. And, you all said, of course, this is real. They're not faking this. These are bones that have been found all over the world, but especially in the Americas. Did you all know that? Lots of giant bones found in the Americas. So this is one of those things that it's hard to debunk it. It's not talked about like it should be. We should be talking about this a lot. Okay. And that's why I'm going to talk about it more. I'm now comfortable talking about it. I wasn't even comfortable saying giants. It just sounds like, I don't know. It's like, it's programming. I know I'm breaking the programming. Thank you for being patient with me. So I've made some connections. Excuse me. I have a little hair in my eye. Okay. So I've made some connections, some things I want to share to see what you're thinking. So this was a crazy thing that came up when I was listening to the podcast where Pablo Escobar, okay? No, it wasn't that podcast, it was another one. Okay, so Pablo Escobar, you know who he was, right? Dollar Bill, hello. I need a haircut too. You do? Oh. Hey there, Tracy. Thanks for joining. Ooh, crazy Tracy is here. We love you, Tracy. Thank you for joining. Okay, so Pablo Escobar, who was a big crime lord out of Central America, you know, the cocaine racket, the the narcos. So Pablo, you know, he had so much money. I didn't realize there's a whole island situation with Pablo Escobar. Okay, I'm not going to get into Pablo Escobar right now. I have a feeling, though, I'm going to put a pin in Pablo. I probably should stop saying put a pin. It sounds kind of voodoo-y, right? Oh my gosh. We're going to put Pablo on the back burner. I'll just revive that, okay? On the back burner, Pablo. And I have a feeling Pablo is going to come back around. We're going to circle back because he factors into a lot of things. You probably already know that. Lots of interesting things. But because he had money to burn, I mean, big, you know, drug empire, Pablo had a collection of skulls. Okay, did you hear that? Pablo had like museum of artifacts, skulls, skeletons, okay? But mainly skulls that were found in the Incan Empire. That would include a lot, you know, all of that empire, we'll say, the Americas. Libby, well, hello. Isn't it the Wrigleys that own a lot of Catalina Island? Oh, I'm not sure, Libby. I'm not sure. That'd be interesting though. Anthea's here. Hi, you made it. That's okay. You know me. You're not late. This is the earliest class I will come to before your coffee. It's 5:30 where you are. Oh my goodness. Thanks for joining. Okay, so Pablo Escobar, I'm going to repeat it. He had a lot of these skulls, okay? So when you look at a lot of the Egyptian pharaohs, the kings, we was kings, they had that head shape. And then there is a tribe in Africa that they wrap the heads of children, babies, to get that shape. And so you have to wonder, like, why do they do that? Why is that a part of their culture? I don't have a thought, like, for sure why they do it, but they had to have been in communication with, I'll say, interdimensionals. And this would be the way they look. So you all know about the skull shape. So this particular man, Eric von Daniken, he was, you know, he's a let me see, because you know what, I was trying to find out, is he still living? Eric von Daniken is a German, and he has written several books. No, they say he's Swiss. He's written a lot of books about extraterrestrial influences on early human culture. So he has a bestseller, Chariots of the Gods. And let's see, he popularized the paleo contact with ancient astronauts, a hypothesis. So let's see. Oh, he was convicted and served time for several counts of fraud or embezzlement. Oh, okay. And he wrote a book while he was in prison. Well, he made good use of his time. Let's see what else. Oh, they just put his whole business out right there in the first paragraph. So let's see. Well, he was a guy that did a lot of exploring. So it looks like he's still alive from the wiki. Okay. So yeah. Okay. That is that. I thought it was an interesting thing just to realize that Pablo Escobar, who knew that he would be interested in such a thing? So here are some of the excavations with the big giant bones, and it's some of them are mummified. They found regular, you know, sized humans that have been frozen. You've heard of those things like mummified girls and things like that. But I'm just focused right now on the giants because that's an area that I so desperately need to get comfortable with understanding because I'm late to the party when it comes to giants. So yeah, here are some bones and you could look at the size and pretty amazing. So I got this off of Now You See TV. I love that ministry. I would recommend that you go over and subscribe to this ministry. I think they have some really solid research and they really line up with a lot of the things that for me personally, I agree with a lot of things that they're saying. So it's called Now You See TV, David Carrico and John Pounder. So if you know about them, let me know. Does anybody know about that particular podcast, Now You See TV, or it's called The Midnight Ride? Anybody know about them? Let me know. Nixon says Adamites are the beings with elongated skulls. Adamites, you're saying, when you say Adamites, you're saying, let me know what you mean from that. Aliens, another form of fallen angels, Tina is letting you know there. Okay, so wasn't he on Ancient Aliens show? Probably, Alex. I'm just learning about him now. So he probably was. So I wanted to give you you've probably seen this, but it's a good, just wow. Okay. How would you feel if you saw something 30 feet tall? So the thing about it is, it's not so far off. That's the thing. Like, why has this been so hard for me to accept? I'm just going for me, like, gosh, it's been a while for me to just get it. Karen says school has the largest polygonal wall in America. How was those stone? Yeah, exactly. You've listened to the Midnight Ride. Oh, so you know about it. Yeah, it's great, right, Penny? Oh yeah, love it, love it. I'm glad I found them. And so this is just more to show you. So you have 6 feet tall, a regular human tall, that's considered tall for present day man, woman. And then you have 15 feet. So they found in the 1950s, there was someone that lived in Turkey, 15 feet tall. Look at the difference there. I'm just saying, like, that's amazing. And then you have, back down, you kind of see the kind of up and down there. Looks like the 15-footer was the tallest in modern times. Then you had the King Og of Bashan. So he is a big one. And then Goliath. And then Goliath had some brothers, and then an ordinary person from that time, which would have been bigger than people are modern. Let's see. Look at this here. This is found here. These are top 10 giant discoveries in North America. So you have 10. Okay, so you have a 7-footer in Serpent Mound, Ohio. And I'm gonna play something in a bit with dealing with Serpent Mound. And then you have West Virginia, as you can see, the tallest 18 feet in Pennsylvania. Whoa. So look at those skeletons, everyone. My goodness. So the tallest one over here, number 1, they found in West Hickory, Pennsylvania. That's a big one, right? Oh my. Hey, Jeffrey, what are you saying? Tribes that spread out, hairy ones, Andre the Giant. Yeah, how about that, Andre the Giant? Yes, indeed. So here we are. And of course, I have to go there. You know me, got to go into the crazy popular culture. Now, I did this, and just know there's a method to my madness. I wanted to show that this has been right in front of our faces all along. And I was just asking, like, wow, that's kind of a slick way to do disclosure, right? Is to hide it right in front of our faces. Have you ever thought about it, Vicky? You're making your vegetables and you're about to throw your vegetables in the doggone microwave, which I say you shouldn't do, but I'm not telling you how to live your life, okay? But anyway, Vicky, it's called the Green Giant, okay? What more did they have to say, Johnny? The Green Giant. I was like, you know how my brain goes. I was like, as I was doing my research, I said, wait a minute. I grew up with something called the Green Giant. And why is this so hard for me to wrap my head around? Because I'm looking at the Green Giant for how many years? My whole life, right? Whole life, the Green Giant. So I'm just saying, okay? What is that all about? Why did they pick some, some whatever product, what do you call, logo, whatever representative to be a big, giant, jolly green giant? And that's another thing, Eliana. Why did he have to be jolly? Okay. Because when you read accounts and learn about these giants, they were anything but jolly. They were horrible. They smelled bad. Okay. Like they smelled, imagine this, a giant. Okay, smells like they haven't taken a bath in 10 years. The most musty smell you can imagine, okay? Really smelly. So you're going to smell them before they get to you, okay? I don't think they were big on hygiene, okay, Vicky? Ho, ho, ho. Hey, Jay. Ho, ho, ho. Green Giant. Is that how it went? Was that the jingle? Giants' lives matter. Nancy says Barron Trump is really tall. Yeah, how tall is he, Nancy? Does anybody know how tall Barron Trump is? I understand he's very tall. Golden Chris says, imagine. Oh no, I don't want to imagine that. I will be thin, okay? I will lose so much weight, okay, if I had to smell that kind of mustiness. Oh my gosh, Nixon, right? Oh my goodness. So then you have, I'm just showing, yeah, they had little Sprout. They want us to think that the giant is just green and jolly and he brings you good vegetables to eat. They're GMO. And like I said, you shouldn't be putting them in the microwave in a plastic bag because all of those things are leaching out into your vegetables, right? That's what you want to be healthy and eat vegetables. Okay, I hear Jeff. Well, I see Jeffrey. Rather, I don't hear you. I see you. LeSueur, Minnesota. That's where the company was. Yeah, didn't they close that plant in LeSueur? Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that, Alan. Thank you. Pillsbury Biscuits had Hungry Jack Giants. So it's more giants on our food. Well, look at that. They've been disclosing it. Wyoming chick, hi. Throw the microwave out. You did, and you don't miss it. Thank you. Eliana saying that Barron Trump is 6'7" at 15 years old. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Paul Bunyan. Yes. Thank you, Eliana. Let me write that down. I'm sure that's going to come up. I still have a little pencil. I haven't used a new pencil yet. I'm going to try to use that. I just have to write Paul Bunyan. I forgot about Paul Bunyan. That's going to probably come up at some time. Okay. There you are. If you think of any other Mar fans, yes, that's another thing. PH Joy, how does Saint Martin's connect or relate to Marfan syndrome? I don't know about Saint Martin's. Do you mean Saint Martin's the island? Let me know. Marfan's disease or syndrome rather is where you do see the giantism, I guess, for lack of a better word, but it is very hard on the heart when the limbs are that long. And we've had Manute Bowl, I think he had Marfan's, and some of the other, I think it was another basketball player. I need the guys to kind of fact check me on that. Wasn't it Manute Bowl who and a lot of times they don't live real long when they have Marfans. Okay, so I said it's no wonder I resisted evidence of giants. Okay, it's no wonder. Okay, and I'm just showing right now images just to show you that if you have been resistant like I have been, you can just look at things that kind of show you that it's not that far out there to see that there could be races of very tall, very big people. So I just put this here just to show you just proportions, because it's just cute. So this man is setting up a display, like, a really fancy, I guess it's a train set, which I love train sets. And you could just see him. He looks like a big giant, It might be a department store window or something like that. So you see the London Bridge, and then you see Big Ben over there, and you see the tunnels for the trains. Oh yeah, Jack and the Beanstalk, duh. How did I not remember that one? My goodness, we were like, this is the thing, okay? We were told these stories as children, but I'm trying to understand why then does it seem like we don't really accept it? I don't know. Is that why? Is because they told us in like a myth, like the children's stories? Is it because we don't think those things are real? So we just, what is it? Tell me who yeah, that's right. David. That's the only one I even knew, Leanne. The David and Goliath. How you doing there? Thanks for joining, Leanne. That's right. Exactly. Sasquatch. Yeah. Now, I was always interested in Sasquatch when I was a little girl. I would watch a lot of those specials on TV. I was really scared of Sasquatch, but I didn't know if it was real or if it was like, just made up. So even as a kid, I didn't really believe it. Gilgamesh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, Gilgamesh, which I just started to know about. I knew the name, but knew nothing else. So, of course, here you are. This is probably one of the most well-known of the children's myths, legends, stories, narratives, whatever you want to say, fairy tales. So you have Gulliver's Travels. So you know what I want to do? I don't know. I feel like I want to read Gulliver's Travels right now because I want to see if I could pick up certain things that they may have been, doing in the way that they embed the messages in the stories like that. So I may pick it up and maybe we could do like a little quick book study of Gulliver's Travels. Let me know if you think that's a good idea. It was just a thought that I had. Tracy says it's called cognitive dissonance. It's kicking it's kicking your ass. It's in your face. It is, Tracy. It's kicking my ass is right. Cognitive dissonance. Leave me alone. Vicky said, Hansel and Gretel. Oh my gosh, that was one of the creepiest stories. I don't know about you all, but now that I think about I always felt uneasy with all those children's stories. I didn't know what was wrong with me, but they had such a sinister undertone. And now I know it wasn't just me being, sensitive. Um, or I was being sensitive, right? So, of course, this is one of the more iconic ways that you remember seeing the images of Gulliver. So what I want you to focus on, because of course now I'm looking at the architecture, okay? Isn't that funny? That was my first thing. I looked at the architecture right away, and if you look at the architecture in this illustration, where do you think you would be in the world? Like, what does it look like to you? So that's what I want you to do with me. Like, help me and look at the architecture, because it's just really interesting now to just see that. Christine said, "Me too, Jen. Didn't like Santa Claus." Yeah, Santa Claus was a creeper. I was a weird kid. I didn't like it. Grimm's fairy tales were horrible. Exactly. Yes. So, this was right here, this story right in front of our face. So Gulliver's Travels, an exciting story of a man caught in a world of little people filled with giant adventures. So he wasn't a giant, right? Now, tell me, because I'm not familiar with the book anymore. I haven't read it in so long that I'm not sure. Was he considered a giant, or was he a normal sized person? Tell me what the deal is. Ernestina says she thinks Middle East from the architecture in the illustration. Okay, check out the architecture here. So these are just illustrations from various children's books for Gulliver's Travels. So look at the architecture. Isn't that interesting? You say he was a giant. Okay, so what do you all say? Was Gulliver a giant? Gulliver. And is that the name of that show from the 60s, Gulliver's Island? Is that the same spelling? Can somebody let me know? Dave Walker. Hey, Dave, you said creepy? Santa Claus creep? Yeah, he was a creepster, right? Okay. Sean, hey, you said don't upset Peter Dinklage. Gotta watch those words, Jen. Ha ha ha. Okay, I'll watch my words. Okay, anybody? Let's see. What am I missing here? It looks like Tartaria to you. Molly's here. Hey, you're not late, Molly. Thanks for being here at night school. Checking in. Gilligan's. Oh, okay. So it's not Gulliver's. Thank you, Dean. See, I'll try to connect everything. You have to reel me in, because I will go too far out into the water. Okay. So it's not Gulliver's, it's Gilligan's. Okay. Scratch that. Okay. Thank you all. Fact checkers. Thank you. Look at that. Yes, right. Why the archway in the drawings? I don't know. That's my thing. Isn't it interesting to look at now? And this was really creepy. This is all from different Gulliver's travel books for children, okay? Now look at the one on the left. That is a land that is in the air. In fact, that was one of the lands that he was an adventurer. That's what they called the men, when they went on the boats to go explore. They're adventurers. So look at this. Isn't that interesting? And then the women, they are holding a little person, and they look like nuns to me. It looks really disturbing, very dark. Hey, God's Alley, stopping by to say hello. Hi, thank you for saying hello. So Jan is saying the Lilliputians tiny, Gulliver not a giant. Okay, so Jan thinks that Gulliver was not a giant, but the Lilliputians were tiny. Let's see what else. The Smalls and the Giants. Angry nuns, right? Don't they look really creepy? Now, tell me what you all think. When I looked at the nuns in this illustration, they have something on the side of their forehead. Do you see that right above the eyebrow, the ridge, the bone? What does that look like to you? That whatever that is sitting on the forehead of the nuns. Tell me what you think. Hi, Norleen. Hey, thanks for joining. They look like goblins. Yeah, I would say so. Those are women. I don't know. I can't really say either way. I'm going with whatever you think they are. Okay. And Golden Chris says Vril. You say a graphene chip. I love it. Leanne said branding. I know. I don't know, right? It's a cyborg plot. They look like old men. Witches. Yes, witches. Oh, okay. But any idea about this thing on their forehead? What is that all about? And then what do you think about this floating land that Gulliver is looking at? Karen is checking in saying Gulliver was a giant in Lilliput and in Bro. See, I can't say that. I got to practice that one. In Brahag, was he in the desert? Tell me, I got to read it. I'm going to read it. Maybe we could do a quick little book thing before we do the Book of Enoch and do Gulliver's Travels. Hey, Leslie. Hey, nice seeing you. You say they look like David Rockefeller. You guys, you say a pimple on the forehead. Okay. Yeah, I just thought it was odd. I was just wondering what you all thought. So here's another picture of that floating realm. And I think it has a name. I'm going to look at it here. Gulliver discovers La Puta, the floating, flying island. Why is it always an island? So that is La Puta, the floating island. So who knew? So look at the one, the giant that has the red outfit on. Isn't that weird? And he has like a sickle, and this is another version of Gulliver holding. No, this is Gulliver encountering a giant. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's Gulliver meeting a giant or somebody more giant than him. And so this is really, really crazy. Look at this baby, y'all. What in the heck? This is for children. I'm like, what is going on about now? And then you see the picture next to it. I think it was in a museum or art, whatever. And they said that this is Gulliver's Travels, but it's like a more dystopian version of it, which I'm like, wow. Okay. So that baby has a little person in its hand. Yeah, he did. I didn't see it though, Jeffrey. Did anybody see Ted Danson's version of Gulliver's Travel? And now this one here, you guys, I was cracking up. Do you see this? I want you all to take this in, okay? Look at the architecture as well. But I'm just saying right now, what's going on with your boy? Your boy, I'm just going to call him the Ginger Giant. The Ginger Giant has just come through the gate blasting with 2 pistols. What is really good right now? What is up with your boy? Coming into the town, shooting up everybody. What's up? How is this for children? I'm very confused right now. So I'm calling him the Ginger Giant. I want to know what's up because he just came into town and we got to go. Does anybody know anybody who makes any arcs? We need to know somebody who builds arcs, okay? We got to get out of town. Is this crazy? Have you ever seen anything like this? Tina says the giants always depicted with red hair. I've heard that, but I haven't been paying attention all these years, so I didn't know why do they have to have red hair? What's up with all this? Like, this is new to me, people, but I'm just saying, what's up with your boy? He's just wild, is all I know. I like red hair. I think it's fabulous. And by the way, it's not even like an issue racially. I just saw a little kid just a couple of weeks ago, a black kid, and he had the reddest carrot top hair and he had cute little freckles, little black boy. So red hair comes in all people, okay? Did someone say they are offended? Norlene said, why do they always make the bad people redheads? I'm offended. Oh no, Norlene, are you a redhead? We love you. Don't be offended. But I'm just saying, like, what is up with this? So there was also Jack Black. Did anybody? I didn't even know he did this movie. I was really too busy around this time because I wasn't paying attention. So look at the architecture. That's what I'm also, I wouldn't have paid attention before, but I just wonder, what is the message? What are the messages that they're really sending in this type of entertainment? Because as somebody brought up, that Ted Danson was in another Gulliver's Travel. So I'm like, why do they have to keep making versions of this? What's going on? Right? So I'm just saying. So Jack Black did one. And, here we are. We can mix in some of the illustrations and the fantasy with, hey, look at this real person here over in China. I know you've probably seen that picture. Hi, Bridget. Thanks for joining. Blessings to you. Thanks for joining us in class. Let's see. DeWolf said, Little Mermaid had me crushing on redheads for life. Minus Saki. Yeah, she's ruined it, hasn't she? My goodness. Saki. And then her name has to be Jennifer. Jennifers are always crazy. So I'm always like, always messing up my name. I don't take it personally. Okay, so then you see this. It's so many examples. I'm going to be talking about giants. I have a feeling a little bit like here and there. I'm not going to do every show about giants, but I'll weave it in as it comes. So I wanted to just make note that when we start studying, if you join me with a study for the book of Enoch, one of the things that I have come to know is the first book of Enoch is the one that I am going to just stop there with, okay? The other two books, which, I'm hearing, that's not the same Enoch. It's something had happened. Some other Enoch, the other Enoch wrote that other part, the two other books. So the first book up to 105, right? So I have noticed in my research that the other group, okay, the other side of the family that is estranged and all this stuff, all this warfare and all this Cain and Abel versus whatever, they are trying to portray in the mystery schools where they invert everything. They are trying to say that one of Og of Bashan or either Gilgamesh, they're trying to say that is Noah of the Bible. So be really cautious about that tricky kind of thing where they're trying to do what they always do, is to usurp and steal the identity and confuse us. So, just be very discerning of that. Just, one of those things to just be careful about. So they're trying, when you look at that illustration, you could just see like that's not a Pegasus, but it's like a unicorn in the water with this giant, and then it looks like Noah's Ark. So it's really crazy, right? And, of course, this is what a lot of people are very familiar with in terms of architecture in Peru, in the Incan Empire. And just some beautiful coastal land, like amazing. I know, Ernestina, this looks very familiar to you, right? This is a beautiful area of the world realm. Very, very beautiful. And for the cyclopic monolithic stones, we talked about this before, and that was one of the theories that was floated in terms of how did they get these stones to just have this particular precise fitting where you see the beveled edge and there's not any space in between those stones. You can't do anything, put anything in between. So it is an amazing feat of architectural engineering. Now, the way that it was described is, think about it this way. When those stones were fit in place, they were soft like clay. So that was something that, yes, again, no mortar. Exactly. Hey there, 555 Cortex, hello. Here for the knowledge, Jen. Rewind it. Thanks. Love your presentations. Your mom does too. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. And blessings to your mom. Tell her I said hello and thank you. Thank you. John, there were many beliefs through time, each having a different view of creation and time. Yes, yes. Very sound. Yes. Because it has withstood all of the weather, the earthquakes, and everything. It can withstand a lot. And as you can see on the left, that is a irrigation. You see, like this is a very advanced civilization. And by the way, the current Peruvian people, they do not take credit for building these structures. When you think about the technology that they had, it's impossible. These people, they don't have the type of even landscape that would make it feasible to carry all of these things up and down mountain sides, So yes, Ernestina, ain't seismic construction. Exactly. And these are some of those stones that you'll see, big blocks. And I think they were saying the quarry that they got these stones from is like hundreds of miles away. And you think of like the kind of animals and like what did they have that could have carried these stones? And one of the things that I'm starting to understand is that there are some really powerful portals in Peru. And this is something that the pre-flood societies, they practice certain religions, and then the fallen angels, you want to call them Nephilim, they had their form of mystery knowledge that they were giving. They were giving technology and things like that. So there are a lot of portals for those that they worship knowledge, like in terms of knowledge is the end goal for them. The tree of knowledge, when you think about that whole thing. And so this church right here is built on top of a very sacred structure. So because of the mud floods, the cataclysmic event that happened, and all of these places, these ancient sites were just covered over. So you have underneath this Catholic church, you have a temple, an Incan temple. And then even before the Incan temple, there was another civilization that had their own system of worship and things like that. So the thing is that they built on top of it, and the Catholic Church has built on top, as you know, of many sacred structures. And so that makes it easy for them because they can excavate and nobody has to know. So they are accessing the subterranean realm and taking artifacts, and it's gone unnoticed. And you can see more of the stone work. And I love that. That's amazing. Like the painted mountains. Does anybody know why that shows up that way? What is the do you know the reason why it looks painted like that? Other than, let's see what you're saying. These ancient civilizations definitely was knowledgeable in mathematics in order to build that way. Yes, definitely. Real good at, they mathed really well. Lots of symmetry. Yeah. And here's another view of the church that's on top of, when I say they say that the what is beneath this church is so amazing, the caverns and the labyrinths and stuff. And in fact, one of the men that one of you mentioned him, he accidentally, it was one of those things, one of the bishops or priests accidentally gave him a peek into what was underneath. Okay, he opened up the floor where they had tiles. You wouldn't have known that this was an opening. So he let him go down. And when he started asking questions, he said that the priest cut him off. He wouldn't let him go down anymore to see what was down there. And he said that that particular priest got in trouble and he had to be moved somewhere for doing that. So it's a good thing it happened because it confirmed what he had already, because he used some kind of technology, like, you know how they use is it infrared technology that they can use to see what's underneath the ground? So he knows for sure that it is the biggest, what is it? It's like the connection to all of the underground bases and everything. Their nerve center is right there in Peru. So this is big, a big discovery. And so here are some more of the tower type of things, which they look like they predate possibly the megaliths. And for those that like coffee, they grow very, very wonderful coffee in the Peruvian mountains. Anybody like Peruvian coffee? And of course, the lovely alpacas, llamas, and Paco vicuñas. And, these are the animals that they pretty much depend on in terms of helping them. They, They, it's a sweet animal, and it looks like the Peruvian people are just so kind to the animals. And how could this animal help them build these structures? Hey, foxes on mushrooms, you love Peruvian coffee? Yes, Bridget, underground civilization. Yes. You like Peruvian? Nixon says it's too as acidic for you. Oh, yeah. Okay. And here are more of those. I just think this is amazing. Just the precision of how to get the rounded, like just what it would take. It's amazing to me. And this is just a modern home that's overlooking the ocean. I just wanted to show you what some people are doing, which it looks like California a lot, the coastal homes that are on the beach and everything. It looks very similar. So I noticed a lot of modern homes like this. And also they have, like, you could say, an oasis, that they also have a desert area. As you can see, the dunes there, the sand dunes, and you see the lit city in that area. Isn't that amazing? So it's like this, lush oasis right there. And I forget the name of it. Maybe our sister Ernestina can tell me, what is the name of this oasis? Let us know, Ernestina, please. And here's another, of the Catholic churches, a couple of them. So you can see, beautiful architecture. I love these doors. I love that rounded arch door. Do you like doors like this? And another view of the church. And when they've had to repair this church, you can see the difference in the brick, the masonry. There's no way that we can copy this type of masonry. I mean, it's just, you can see right there how we, with our modern advanced society, cannot match this type of skill level. Hey, Mary. Mary says eggshell in the coffee grounds will cut the acid. Oh, that's good. Thank you for sharing that. Avenging scapegoat. I heard arches are magnets. Oh, really? I don't know if they are magnets. Does anybody know? Do they have a magnetic power? And so look at this right here. Is that amazing? So that's what I'm saying. There are a lot of portals. I mean, that's like a set of stairs, or somewhere they're ascending up into some kind of temple that's within this mountain. You see the door right here? And these are the steps. If anybody can't make out were you able to see my my pointer? So if you can't see it real well. And when you are inside that church that's built over the Incan temples and underground, you'll see this cyclopean stonework, and you'll see it all in the inside of the church. So it's like you see the construction that the church uses, and then you see this ancient, amazing stonework. So it's very obvious that they built on top of it. It's really crazy. And this is like how the people would have lived. And so you see that the way that they construct their homes, there's no way that they would have constructed temples to look like what we're seeing. So this is a village. It's beautiful, but still all we're saying is, you know what we're saying. So a lot of the the rulers, the kings, and things like that. It looks like the same thing that we've seen in other countries, other empires, like Ethiopia, where you see the crown. They send out their Machiavellian hitmen, their economic hitmen. Hey, Eight Wind is Timeless. Thanks for joining. Greetings to you. So they send their economic hitmen. We just talked about in our previous live stream or class, we talked about Machiavellian politics and diplomacy. So even though they did the bloody warfare, they also perfected their going in and infiltrating an empire and, usurping the throne and putting either some puppet son, like a son that was by the concubine or something, a son that's not loyal to the family. And, this is the mess that happened in these empires. So, you have the indigenous leader who he is keeping, like holding the kingdom down. He might have a few concubines. He's got all these sons running around. And you already know, we've seen it, the same drama. So this is what I wanted to show you all that I didn't notice the other day. I want you all to tell me what you think. I looked at the two sons, Tupac Amaru 1 and 2. And if you look at these men and their attire, to me it looks like a mix of two things. It's like a double message or something. So you see that they're dressed in that colonial, whatever that, you see the tights and the little, what do you call those pants that they're wearing? Bloomers, I don't know. And then they have the pilgrim like buckle shoes around that time, that they wore. And then you see the kind of ruffle blouse, kind of like Prince in the Revolution. But then over top of that European clothing, they have their traditional garment on. So it looks like, to me, are you saying, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's like a mixed message. So when I looked into it, of course, the fathers were indigenous roots, and they're all about their culture. These sons or son were educated in Jesuit colleges. So this is what's interesting. So the sons, you could see how it happens, how these thrones get infiltrated. So they get educated in the Jesuit universities, and that explains why he's wearing two different cultures, I guess you could say, right? Isn't it a weird mix? I didn't pick it up until, like, I never noticed these kind of details before. I was like, wait a minute, look at this guy's outfit. It's like it's not like sincere, or it doesn't look like it's grounded in integrity to have the two things mixed, right? I don't know. Am I reading too much into it, Nixon? Tell me. Yeah, the usual suspects, right? If it's not them, it's them. Indoctrinated. That's what I meant, John. That's more correct. They were indoctrinated in Jesuit schools. Yes. So you could already see what it's hitting for. And so here we are with a picture depicting the vast underground realm that is under Peru and all of the Americas. It connects to the entire world. There are cities underground. And I know this is so hard to accept, but we're going to have some pretty big things that are disclosed to us. And I think that it's just wise to start getting used to the idea of these things, okay? Because it's mind-blowing, and it's better to learn it and not be shocked by any big disclosures. But these things are so vast. Yes, you've been saying that, Roxanne. Thank you. You said inner earth, Agartha. Agartha. I'm going to do more with that, Roxanne, now that everything is just opening up for me. And, you know, I love a lot of those stories like that, Tolkien and his inner earth stuff, and it probably will just make more sense, right? So, yeah, they have labyrinths and all kinds of, it's just very, very intricate. And you can see some of the wall art. Isn't that amazing? So, yeah, this is just powerful stuff. And so this is some of the access to the various parts of the under realm. So let me go to a note that I had, because it's just a couple of things. So, yeah, they call it the navel of the world. And they say this is the place where one gets lost. So it's a system of caverns, misdirections, misnavigations. Only the architects know the maps. There's a story, and I tried to find the news story. I couldn't find it. If anybody finds it, let me know if you can find it. There was a school class trip, children and their teachers, and they went on their class trip under Peru, under Cusco. They were doing a little, I don't know what you call it, a little, what do you call it? I don't know, a little trip, a little tour. And they have not been seen since. They say that when you go into certain areas of these labyrinths, and if you can just picture, I cannot imagine a labyrinth where you're just, it's many misdirections and turns, and that's where they get lost. And they say it is so dark at a certain point when you go past, I guess this is the point of no return. So not even a flashlight will help anyone at that point. It's so dark. So yes, it is. Doesn't that just sound terrifying, Molly? So they've had this class of children just disappear. So I was just like horrified just to imagine, and the teachers too. So I just wanted to link this to something. I was talking to my mother. So this is my mom when she was a little girl. On the left, that's her sledding in Philadelphia during the winter. And then on the right, that's her and her sister, my aunt, my favorite aunt, Eleanor, who has passed away. But that's where I get my love for animals. My mother always loved animals. So my family has a heart for the animals. So you can see my mom as a little girl. So I was talking to my mom, who happens to be, we call her the archives of the family, because she can remember so many things. I know you know people like that, or you may be somebody like that. Yes, that's right, Sean. She's a West Philadelphia girl. Yeah. She lived in South Philly for part of her childhood, but mainly she grew up in West Philadelphia. Yes, Philly. Anybody in the house from Philly? Hey, Alan, thank you. So my mother, she remembers, okay, she'll remember what you were wearing, where you were sitting in the room when you said what you said. Okay, she's that kind of archives. So if you need to remember something, just call her. And she's just amazing with her recall of events and people's names and things like that. So, oh, Mrs. Harris is born and raised in West Philly. Oh, look at that. You were born in Philly too, Sean. How nice. Philly people. So, yeah, so when I was telling her about this stuff that I've been uncovering, um, she said to me, now check this out. She said that when she was growing up, okay, if you could picture her, like, okay, I have to admit, my mom looks really cute. She's so cute to me even now. Okay. So, she was that kind of kid, she said, who was very nosy. And that makes sense because she's the archives of the family. So she would be nosy. So she said that because, like, in West Philly on their street, they grew up on like Locust Street. And, everybody knew each other. It was the nicest thing. It was a mix of people. They had all kinds of people living in the neighborhood. Black people, Jewish people, Russian, all kinds of Armenian, all kinds of people. Like back then in West Philly, it was a mixed bag of everybody living in, they all lived together. And people were close. They looked out for you. It was amazing. So she was the kind of kid that she would go and visit people in the neighborhood, and she happened to listen to things, and she knew about everybody's business, which is so funny. She knew about, like, oh, they weren't really married, but the dad lived in the house. And I'm like laughing because she knew these details. Okay. So that's why she pays attention to details and remembers things. Okay. So she'll tell you the funniest stories. I'm laughing. But this one wasn't a funny story. Okay. Let me get to the point. So I'm telling my mom about this stuff. Like, I was like, Mom, can you imagine? There was a group of school kids that went on a trip and they went down into these caverns and they've never been found. And she said, well, when I was growing up, there was a family, and their oldest daughter, she said the daughter would have been older than her, but she used to go around and visit the younger siblings. And she said that the older sister had gone into the Peace Corps, and she went down to Peru, and that is where she disappeared. My mom said she was never found. So when she said that, what would you think, right? I was like, that's really weird that she's telling me this story. Like, that's not a common story to know. And I said, I'm wondering if there's some connection here. So, what do you think? Isn't that crazy? I was like, wow. And she said it was so sad. They never got a body or anything, but they did have a memorial for her. You said now it would think someone disappears through a portal. Oh wow, Deanne. Now that, no coincidences, right, Norlene? A bottomless pit. Oh my goodness. There's some weird juju in Peru. Oh wow. Mm-mm. Oh boy. So I was like really amazed. So this is what I wanted to, show you, where inside the church you can see this cyclopean stonework. Then you see their, whatever you all called it, Spanish. You see what I'm saying? So you see the Spanish colonial, and then you see this ancient cyclopean stonework. Do you see? Isn't that really odd? Ernestina says, I was only in the Inca temple under the church in Cusco. Oh, so you did. Oh, you were just in the temple. You didn't go into, yeah, good girl. Don't go in there. We don't want you going in there, Ernestina. Mary's here. Hi. I'm glad you're here. I traveled to Peru in 2019. You went to Cusco. Oh, you did? So you saw a lot of this. Nice. Hey, Rose, you said lizard people. I don't know why I laugh. I'm so silly. So look at that. Amazing, right? I'm just amazed at the beveled, the beveled in what do you call that? Like where it butts up against each other. It's amazing. And it has like a lot of drill holes and things into these stones. And it's like, and they fit like puzzle pieces. They're cut in a way that they can fit into the other. Still no mortar. That's right. Oh, you were in the temple. Sean says ancient Cyclopean stonework would be a great selling point on a. That's for sure. Yes, indeed. And so you see what I'm saying? Like all of these various places that you can go underground and find your way. It looks like a well, but they have a lot of these, like, when I was looking into the architecture, a lot of different ways to get access the inner realm. When I was in Egypt, I did go inside the pyramids, and I had to do like what she's doing. Like you have to really, scoot down, and it is a little bit claustrophobic, but I had to talk myself out of not feeling claustrophobic. Kim is here. Yay, you made it. Thank you, Kim. Welcome. And here's some other, just I can't imagine like just going into this area and then it just keeps turning and it's a labyrinth. It's like a maze. Has anybody ever gone in a maze like that's in a garden? Has anybody gone and tried to find their way out? So here are some cave openings all over. If you go hiking, you could find your way in. And you see people that are there doing things like they're meeting up with shamans and stuff like that. So what I want to also share, 1 minute there. They have trips to Peru where they even advertise it as portals, that people are going to visit portals. So there's a trip that I'll tell you how they described it. Okay, it's the author named Freddie Silva that does Sacred Earth Journeys. So it's kind of like, it sounds like, more of that type of like, so it says join best-selling author and ancient mysteries researcher Freddie Silva on a quest to the lesser known aspects of megalith Peru from Sasquatch, I'm not saying it right, and Machu Picchu to the Oros Islands. This is not your typical Andean trip. Unlike others, it reveals an aspect of pre-Inca culture few people get to see and hear, such as the ritual towers of Silistani, the underground resurrection chamber of Quiquico, the Egyptian roots of Saskatchewan, the otherworld portal of Amaru Moru, and the ceremonial moon temple of Hayana Pichu. I know I'm butchering. Highlights include, well, they're doing like, mountain walks and different things like that. But I just wanted you to just, Freddie Silva has been around for a long time, many books. Okay. So let me just stop the screen, and I want to share another thing just because I mentioned this particular place called Amaru Muru. Now, remember when we talked about Amaru and I realized like, okay, Tupac Shakur, his middle name was Amaru. Amaru means America. So that's where like the root of our country's name. So Amaru, let me get to the title. Can you see it okay? Okay, so Amaru Muru is the most mysterious ancient site in South America. Is it portal to other world? There is an extremely interesting stone carving in Peru near Lake Titicaca, known as Amaru. Wait a minute, did I do Aramu Muru? So it's not the same as Amaru. Okay, so it's Gate of the Gods. This abandoned Inca site is considered to be the most mystical and mysterious place in South America. There are many legends and beliefs around Aramu Muru. Some people call it a spiritual doorway that is located on a vast outcropping of the red sandstone. They perform rituals, meditate, and consider it to be a sacred place, while others believe it is an alien construction. It was So the stone appears to be a portal whose construction was never finished. So I wanted you to see this red stone that they have like these trips, really. So wait a minute. What I wanted to say was that a lot of these portals that they're opening up, entities from interdimensional places, when people are going and making contact with these portals, that's why we have so much activity right now in the world, because these interdimensionals, as we would call them fallen angels, you may call them aliens or whatever, but more of them are coming through because there are people that are doing these rituals and bringing these entities over to this side. So that's why, if you're wondering why has it just seemed like everything has gone so cuckoo, so I just wanted you to know that that's what a lot of people believe is happening. And of course, like Tina said, they're using CERN to also bring these extra dimensional beings. And so these are some of the Peruvian people, and of course the lovely alpacas and llamas. And this is one of these little areas. It's like a floating little I guess you could say like a little village, a floating village. And they make these really beautiful rafts and boats that kind of look like gondolas, but they're made out of natural grasses. And I always have to have fun with this guy. This is his Instagram picture with a little baby alpaca or llama, but he just looks like he might not want to hold it around the neck like that. I don't think that looks so nice. I'm not sure. I'm kind of like, hey dude, can you get your hand off of its neck, please? I don't like it. DeWolf, you said CERN told us during their little ceremony. Yeah, and they have all the, they have Kali of all the goddesses of destruction. They have her out there, right? Mrs. Harris, like, can he stop holding the little baby like this? I don't like it. Right? Can someone tell him not to do this anymore? So wait, I want to show you. Let me stop my screen again and share. I want to share from that ministry that I told you all about, that they have some amazing topics. Okay, this is the midnight. Okay, so this topic right here. So like we're saying, here in America, we have a lot of interesting things. So that John was talking to a man who, I forget which tribe, if it was the Navajo people, not real sure, but you can listen for yourself. Because in Ohio, and I didn't know a lot about the mounds, they have a Serpent Mound in Ohio. So I'm going to play just a little piece so you can see it, because I like that John has, he has a, what do you call it? The little planes, the, why am I forgetting? You know, the little things that you, help me, fact checkers. What do? Your thing that flies and takes the pictures. Drones. He has drone photography, which is cool when you're doing this kind of work. Okay, so let me play this. The title, if you want to watch this one, it's Native American Chief Tells the Secrets of the Ancient Serpent Mounds. Okay, let me play it from this point. Look at it right there. It's snaking around. Is that cool? Have you all, who's seen the Serpent Mound in Ohio? I forget what town. Is it near Cincinnati? This. You've been there. Oh, wow. You all have been there. How cool. Oh, it's near Cincinnati. Oh, okay. Oh, cool. I want to go see this stuff now. Wow.
My goal developing a recipe at Blue Apron is to deliver the most amount of flavor in the least amount of time.
Too. This is where the sun's setting, it looks like, but it also looks like it sets from over there. It's pretty interesting. If you look out as far as you can see, are hills. This is like one of the most beautiful places that I've ever been, and pretty amazing.
I've noticed that about Ohio. This seems like a pretty state, and I'm not surprised that they chose this area of country to build something like this. Just the way the hills and the light and the trees and the plants, everything. It's really quite something to look at.
We don't really say any much more over the top of this, so we can kind of talk over the video here. But that's pretty much what we got, man. We just kind of went around and shot some footage of it because obviously we didn't really know what we were looking at so much as we were just shooting the footage and pointing out the solstice mark. So I'm going to let you take us on this journey, Joseph, and tell us what we're looking at. Tell us what this is and the bigger picture behind this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, this is, the Serpent Mound. This is, as far as I know, the largest serpent effigy in the world. And it's right there in Ohio. It can be seen from up in the atmosphere, from a great distance. And there's been a lot of speculation as to what the meanings are for it. But I think where we could start is in the oral tradition of the tribes. Now, there's many tribes that used to inhabit Ohio, the Chippewa, the Ottawa, the Iroquois, the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, Tuscarora, the Lenni Lenape, also known as the Delaware, and the Shawnee as well. So those are just a few of the tribes that inhabited that region. But one of the things that every one of the people from the tribe will tell you is that their ancestors were not the ones who built these mounds, that these mounds were here long before any tribes had migrated into those regions of the land, according to their own migration stories. I mean, every tribe has their own story and oral tradition. I don't speak for all the tribes, just from the knowledge that I've heard and the wisdom that I've learned throughout the years listening to the elders from different tribes. It's interesting to note that the Lenape, the Delaware Native people who are currently in Oklahoma, the Lenni Lenape, according to their oral tradition, the Allegheny are the ones who built the Serpent Mound. Now, the Allegheny is where we get the word for like the Allegheny Mountains up in the northeastern part of the United States, the mountain chain. Now, Allegheny is the name of a giant tribe. It's one of the tribes that whole region was named the Allegheny, or Allegheny, or Telegewi is another other different ways that it's been written according to historical records. But in the oral tradition, the Allegheny were giants that inhabited that entire region.
All right. So as you heard him say, the Allegheny tribe were a tribe of giants. So that's the thing. The tribes were different. Some were tribes of giants. So when they had the bones of the giants, which this will include all of the Americas. So when I jump from the Incan Empire up to Ohio, I am looking at this as, this is all one land. So the Americas. But I think it was him who gave a report that when they find the giant bones and stuff, they may put them, some of the people may put them in like a burial place or like in a cave or something, like to keep them. And some of the tribes, they don't worship the giants, but some do. If it's a giant that is alive somewhere, living in a cave or something, they will bring offerings. They will think the giant is a god. And, it's pretty bad, like violent and things like that. So, like children and things like that, in terms of going missing or possibly being offered to this being that is a hybrid. So some of them will worship the bones, kind of like relics that when you think of the Catholic Church, kind of similar. And that's another thing the Catholic Church has done, is to go around and get these relics, these bones, really into the bones. So let's see what else I have left here. So of course I had to do jumping the shark. Okay. So yeah, back to the Jolly Green Giant. Back to this craziness again. So of course, you see people dressed up, and then I found a woman Jolly Green Giant. What's going on? And I swear I better not see this Jolly Green Giant doll. It looks like a voodoo doll. No, thank you. I'll pass. And just back to, I think I'm done my points that I wanted to make right now. I just wanted to say that, a lot of the various pre-Diluvian, the flood accounts that you see in other cultures, one of the things you'll hear is like there was a great canoe that they call Abba, the creator. He gathered the animals and boarded them on a canoe, or a great raft that was built by those who knew that the flood was coming. So I just thought it was interesting that they say boarding the animals. And that's what we do when we, need to have our animals taken care of. We say we're boarding them. So I thought that was kind of like interesting that we even say that, boarding them. And, just wanted to say, I want to always keep my heart open and responsive to the animals who God, the creator, loves so dearly, his creation. And I pray for justice for his innocent creation, the beautiful animals that we were given the responsibility not to dominate them, but to love them and to care for them. And we have failed as a group. I'm not saying you personally, but we have to call it what it is. We have failed the animals, okay? So God bring justice for them. So that's it for now. If I can think of anything else, I just wanted to share that. You know, I was just really shocked that my mom, like, what a small world. My mom knows, she knew someone who went to Peru in the Peace Corps and disappeared, never found. So I was like, wow. I tried to look for the woman. My mother told me her name. So she said this happened like, you know, back in the 50s, late 50s or something. And she just said that this family was so sweet, just the nicest family. They were real hospitable whenever she would go visit. And just really something, right? I want to double check. Give me a minute if it was something else I wanted to mention, because I'll be like, oh no, I meant to say that. Ah. Oh, you know, I wanted to say that this is one of the things, like, if you're looking at the Bible, like, you don't trust the authority of the Bible. Like me personally, I trust the authority of the Bible. I really do. I trust that God is big enough. My God, my Father, okay, is big enough and powerful enough that if he sent me a message, a love letter to me and all of his kids, he's going to make sure we get it, okay? He can make anything happen, and he can cause any group to preserve his words, okay? So I happen to believe in the authority of the scriptures. I stand on them. So now that I'm looking into the book of Enoch, these are the things that really start to correlate. Like when you look at Deuteronomy and you look at the Og of Bashan, that giant, you know how they have the somethingites, the Jebusites, the thisites. A lot of those were giant tribes, right? So you have the Og of Bashan, and he had a bed. They talked about a bed that he had. And it's just interesting because that kind of stuff you can start to see in historical narratives where these things start to line up. So what I'm going to do is I'm probably tomorrow going to work on, like, maybe doing a video that I edit and just share it on the channel, where I will show more illustrations that deal with like giants and stuff like that. So I may do that tomorrow. I'll see. But I just wanted to, you know, just share that because it's a big thing for me, like in terms of a breakthrough, that now I'm open and I can understand more about the giants and what happened, how did they come about. And I really love the information that I'm coming across because it's starting to make sense to me. So as I start making more connections, let's just get together like we do and continue to share. And the thing about it is, like, when I read your comments, I get more understanding. So I'm looking forward to, you know, looking at even the chatmosphere. I look at all the comments and stuff later on. So I want to thank you all for joining. Oh my goodness, I forgot. You guys did not remind me. Thank you, Celestial Structures. If you have any needs, this is the phone number below. Sponsored by Celestial Structures. And also, there you go. If you want to hit up your hostess with a tip, there you are. And I want to thank you in advance. You're so sweet, and I really do appreciate you. So that's it for now. I think I covered, I'm looking at all of the other notes. It's just so much amazing information. And it just is so much, so much. So I will come back soon. Thank you, Karen. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Meep, meep. Blessings to you all. I love you. Thank you, Julie. Blessings to you. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Tina. I'm coming along, Tina. I'm starting to connect things. Thank you. Alan, thank you so much. Blessings to you. Oh, yes, indeed. Strength, wealth, and power isn't as powerful as God's grace. Amen. Thank you. I appreciate that. Johnny, beautiful images, presentations, insight. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, Johnny. Thank you, Tracy. Woo, me. Blessings, Ernestina. Thank you. Love you. Bye, Kim. Love you. Thank you. Hugs. Julie, hugs. Thank you. We'll have more fun another time real soon. Okay. Giants are real. I can say that now, and I don't have to put on a tinfoil hat. I don't care if somebody doesn't know it yet. I know it. I finally see it. Giants are real. Too much evidence. That's right. They make those creepy Nazca lines, I bet. I'm going to look into those Nazca lines more. I'm going to learn a little bit more about that. Renee, the Roadrunner, thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you for hanging out with me. Lisa, hey, blessings. Love you. Bye, DeWolf. Thank you. Can't wait for our next time. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Bye, Rita. See ya. You just popped in. That's good. We like when you just pop in. Yay, Nixon. Take care. Bless you. Love you. Love you, Avenging Scapegoat. Take care. Bye-bye. Love you. Bye-bye, Roxanne. Thank you. Love you. Bye-bye, Sean. Take care. Very real. All right. Take care. Bye-bye. See you soon.